Hey everybody, I hope your weekend is fun. Just wanted to give you another video to prepare you for the exam on how to complete the square when a is greater than 1. Alright, so here our a is 2. Alright, so what do we do? Well, first step, take the c across the equal sign. So you're going to have 2x squared plus 8x equals minus 5. Alright, the next step, you factor the 2 out. So factor the 2 out of this expression. So what's common here? 2 x squared plus 8 over 2 x 8 over 2x minus 5. All right. So from there, you divide your 8 by 2 because this is simple. It can be divided. You can divide 8 by 2 and it's going to be 4. So you're going to have 2x squared plus 4x equals minus 5. All right. The following step is to complete the square inside the parentheses. All right. Complete square inside the parentheses. All right. Parentheses. All right. So what's my b? B is 4. So I'm calling b over 2 m. So m is going to be equal to b over 2. B over 2 is going to be 4 over 2. It's going to be equal to 2. And then I also need to find m squared. What's m squared? 2 squared, right? Because m is 2. So m squared will just be 2 squared. It's going to be equal to 4. From there, what we want to do is add the 4 to both sides. We're adding m squared to both sides. But you're only adding inside the parentheses. All right? You're adding it inside the parentheses. And then something interesting happens outside on the other side, on the right-hand side. I can't just add 4 here, because if I do that, I'm not adding the same amount I'm adding on the other side, right? So I added 4 on the inside of the parentheses. But really, this is 2 times 4, all right? This evaluates to 2 times 4. So to balance the equation, to make sure I'm adding the same thing on each side, I need to add 2 times 4. All right, 2 times 4, so my equation now becomes 2x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals minus 5 plus 8. All right. So now at this stage of the game, I can replace the inside quadratic that's been created by adding m squared on both sides. I can replace this by x plus m squared. All right. So 2x plus, what's my m? My m is 2. It's 2 squared equals, here's minus 5 plus 8. It's going to be equal to 3. So this equation is the most important equation in completing the square. All right? Because from this equation, I'm going to rewrite this equation here. 2x plus 2 squared equals 3. We can do 2 things with this equation. We can get the vertex. All right, we can get the vertex, or we can get the x-intercepts. All right, let me go on D&D right now. Hold on. Yeah, get the x-intercepts. Right. So from this point, we can choose what we want to do. There's no particular order. If you want to get the vertex, let's say I'll start with getting the vertex, right? So if we want to get the vertex, I'm going to rewrite the same equation again. We need to put this equation in vertex form. And how do we do that? All we gotta do is get this 3 across the equal sign. And we're gonna have 2x plus 2 squared minus 3 equals 0. That's the vertex form. That's it. That's all it is, right? And then from there, to get the actual vertex, if you remember the vertex, if I have my quadratic graph here really quick, you don't have to write this. If I have my graph there, right? The vertex is this point, is either the lowest point or could be the highest point, right? So if I have my vertex form, I know that this equation here, let me rewrite the vertex form right now. Ax minus h squared plus k equals 0. This is vertex form. So my coordinates for my vertex are h and k, where h is the x coordinate and k is the y coordinate. All right. Okay, so my h in this case is 2, right? But I see that 2 is multiplied by a negative number. So my x coordinate is going to be -2, right? Because I see h is multiplied by a negative sign. So it's positive 2. Yes, it becomes positive 2 times -1. It becomes -2. Then my k is -3. But I see -3 is just here k is multiplied by a plus sign. All right, there's a plus sign in front of k. So that just means that multiply whatever k is by +1. And anything you multiply by +1 is itself. So this is going to be +3. All right, no, sorry, it's going to be -3. Apologies. So my vertex is going to be -2, -3. All right. So yeah. So the next thing I can do is get my x-intercepts. All right. So at my vertex, I gotta move the 3 across the equal sign. So I've done that. That's good. I now know where my vertex is. So now let me get the x-intercepts. I'm going to rewrite my equation. X plus 2 squared equals 3. From there, to get the x-intercepts, all I'm doing is solving for x. All right? So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Cancel that. X squared plus 2 equals 3 over 2, right? I can square root both sides to get a free x. So I'm going to have the square root cancels out the square. So I'm going to have x plus 2 equals plus or minus square root 3 over 2, right? Then from there, I know that I'm going to have x is going to be equal to -2 plus or minus square root of 3 over 2. I have two x values. X1 is going to be equal to -2 plus square root 3 over 2. And x2 is going to be equal to -2 minus square root of 3 over 2. All right?